Now, this is the thing that people don't seem to understand. The universe is built to deliver the experiences that are already happening. The universe is not a cosmic comforter that hands you a lollipop when you don't love yourself and says, oh, I'm going to just send you all these people who are going to love you because you don't love yourself, and oh, I'm sorry you don't love yourself. Let me send you loving people. Is that how it works? What happens to you when you don't love yourself? What does the universe send to you? Does it send you a lollipop? Hey, look at that. I can make that person do what I want because they are too afraid to go against me. They want to be polite. They have such a low self-esteem that if I tell them something that I want them to do, they're not going to want to upset me. So what the universe actually does is that if you have a weakness, if you have something you don't like, the universe says, oh, you don't like that? Well, here, have some more. Until you get to the point that you simply accept experience and accept yourself. And when you learn to accept yourself, you will not be manipulated because you will decide that it's better to preserve your sovereignty than to be manipulated by someone else. You will decide that your state of mind being positive and uplifting is a better state for you to be in than the state you're going to have to go through temporarily when they're trying to manipulate you. Because they're going to take it personally, they're going to get angry, they're going to throw hate at you. They are in confusion. They are living in a confusion that makes them think that the body is who they are. And they are trying to do things to comfort the body at your expense. This is the meme that's going on in the entire planet. We are talking about how much corruption and greed and rottenness has festered into the society and the structure of civilization on Earth. In the governments, in the militaries, in the corporations, in the school system, in the financial system, throughout everything. Let's get out of the idea that this is a victim consciousness that we're going through. That's what I'd recommend. You do what you want. But this is how I've decided to live. I'm not going to be anybody's victim. I'm not going to be anybody's slave. I claim, and I ask you with me right now by your applause, to claim your freedom and your sovereignty in this moment. All right. If you can claim your freedom of positivity, your freedom from fear, that is the most threatening thing to the negative controllers in this world. Because this is a frequency war. The one thing they don't want you to have is a positive, loving feeling in your day-to-day life. If they can keep you thinking that you're at the brink of destruction, that nuclear missiles are ready to incinerate the earth, that the economy is ready to collapse, that your government is ready to herd you off into concentration camps, I don't care if that's what you believe or not. But any time that Fox News is telling me something is true, I'm inclined to think it's not true based on their past history. Fox is a corporate entity. It is a propaganda organ. It's also important to understand many of the conspiracy sites have been seeded with propaganda. These are not independent bloggers that are actually trying to raise money and do an honest living. These are people that are funded by the Pentagon and the NSA. We've had extensive discussions with people about this who are insiders. So what's happening now is that because as a planet we have not loved ourselves, we have been stuck in this self-loathing and this fear of our own potential, this fear of our power. The universe has not sent us these majestic, loving, cosmic leaders. They have sent us vicious killers who will spare no expense to rape us, to steal every cent of our money. That's what happens in the universe, but it only happens until you don't need the lesson. If you learn to love yourself, do those negative people still get fixated into your life to such an extent that that's all you ever have? No. If you're one of these people who's been through self-loathing and moved into positive self-concept and self-esteem, if you have learned the power of no as opposed to the power of now, and you can say no to somebody trying to manipulate you, then all of a sudden You're not shackled to this feeling of obligation to someone who is being grotesquely unfair, even if it means that it's going to upset someone. Because if someone has denied you the respect and the sovereignty and the love that you deserve as a perfect child of God, then you deserve to protect yourself, to claim your right to exist. The universe sees that you've learned your lesson. And now the people that would have taken away your freedom and would have taken away your sovereignty can no longer do so, because even one flicker of light in the darkness is enough to show you the layout of the room. And we've had enough of that now, that there is a massive awakening going on. What's the biggest thing in this new science I'm going to teach you about that depletes your immune system? Negative thoughts. So if they can keep you in fear, which means that you hate the government, you hate the president, you hate what's happening to your kids in school, you hate the economy, you hate the Federal Reserve, if you're angry and you're fearful all the time, and then they stick out a little virus, guess what happens to you? You get the virus. That's how you get sick. It's by going out of integrity. The nutritional component is secondary to that. So I ask you this. If you can respect yourself enough to no longer let these people into your life on a personal level, is there a 100th monkey effect that happens to the planet? And that's what's happening right now, is that we are now at a point where we have graduated. We have graduated from the need to have the New World Order running the show. It's over. You cannot lie to people who know the truth. What does a lie require to exist? It requires an absence of information. It requires you not knowing that it's a lie. Because if you're being lied to and you know that it's a lie, then it's not a lie. It becomes a situation that can be remedied, because you can start laughing when that person tells you a lie, because you know the truth. We are watching the derivative system, the Ponzi scheme and international bankers being ripped apart because the other countries are tired of playing the game. They now have more economic power than the old European white men that run the New World Order and the Illuminati. They no longer have the leverage to be able to do what they're doing. And what I propose to you on an even more intrinsic level is that this is all something that appears to be happening as a result of natural progressions of events. But on another level, it is an energetic phenomenon which is being programmed to occur by a movement into a higher energetic frequency. That frequency is making us more present with ourselves. The best thing you can do for the planet, the best thing you can do to save the children, to avoid the swine flu, to protect yourself and your finances, and to make a better world for future generations, is to stay in that state of positive, uplifting peace and gratitude. Thank you. And I don't profess that I'm the guy you go to for the answers. This is something that each of us are doing. If you want to go religious for a minute, the second coming of Christ, or the messianic return, is something that's happening to everyone. If you really go back into the original Old Testament documentation, that the messianic figure is not one person. It represents this change into a whole new way of being. But I need to find my own facts. I don't wait for somebody else to come and teach me something. If I hear something that I like, I go look and I find out for myself. I was told that there was going to be a great change happening to the Earth and the solar system. I didn't just nod my head like a subservient slave to some higher power and say, yes, you're right, oh lovely master, I will do what you say. I can't believe that the whole world is going to change on an energetic level that will make what we're in now seem like the most miserable depression by comparison. That the life that we have now will become 100 times more harmonious. All right.